Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm Maydi, already mentioned by Ms. Valeria, that I'm a Secretary General of Indonesian Nickel Miners Association. I'm here to speak about what happened in Indonesia, especially talking about nickel. Well, everybody wants to know about what is nickel in Indonesia. I can say we already make a success story of nickel, and we have a lot of natural resources. We are so rich for the natural resources. Okay, uh, okay, this is us. We are established in 2017. I don't want to mention a lot about us. We are coming from the government, a part of the government, how to make it everything on nickel properly, and then what is the need from the nickel players, and then how to make a regulation, fairness from the government side and from the nickel players in Indonesia. So many things we already to do for our breakthrough. I can say since 2017, 2020, we are the one to make it nickel ore benchmark price. So the whole nickel transaction in Indonesia for domestic, they're waiting from us. Every month we release about the price, but this is for domestic only. And for another things, especially on nickel sectors, we do for the, maybe everybody knows about the RKB, for the working budget plan. We have to report to the government every year, but since last year, we success to make it every 3 years for report regarding for the production, budgeting, planning, contract, and everything. And since last year, we are collaboration with SMM, Shanghai Metals Market, to release for the nickel pig iron and nickel meat, nickel pig iron, MSP, and then the nickel meat price. And this year, our breakthrough to make it Indonesia Metal Exchange. I'm so proud to say because we are the number one in the world for the nickel. Since 2023, we control around 63% for the nickel global producers, and we are the one to initiate for Indonesia ESG methodology. Okay, this is my country. How is my country? Can you imagine we have a 17,500 island and more than 500 languages. So you can imagine how to communication each other, each province, each island, each government also. And talking about the rich in energy, again, nickel and other commodity. This is us. We have since last year in Indonesia government, we have a target for the make it the downstream, not only for nickel, but first for the 8 priority sectors coming from mineral and coming from the oil and natural gas, plantation, and so on. But basically, we have 21 commodity for the downstream. I'm here with Mr. Andrea. Mr. Andrea, he's a chairman of the investment ministry in Singapore. So if you want to know about how to invest in Indonesia and what is the regulation in Indonesia, this is our chairman in Singapore, Mr. Andrea. Okay, and this is it, our position of the Indonesia global mineral reserve and production. Again, for nickel, we are the number one. And another mineral like bauxite, like copper, gold, and tin for the reserve and for the production. In Indonesia, talking about the digitalization, we already released since, I think since 5 years ago. If you want to know about the company in mining, not only nickel, whole mining in Indonesia. Do you know how many nickel mining in Indonesia? Not only nickel, yeah. I can say more than 5,000 nickel mining company. Coming from nickel, coming from coal, coming from gold, and all minerals. More than 5,000 nickel mining company. Thank you again. Okay, and then if you want to take a look where they are, who they are, what is the company, the location, how many hectares they have, you can check it in our Minerba or One Map Indonesia. And what is the company is, you can check it in Minerba One Data Indonesia. There is an application or website. And we have to report about the production, about the contract and everything, because we have to pay the royalty and tax to the government coming from the Minerba online monitoring system. All of systems coming from Energy and Resource Ministry. Okay, this is a new system also just released last year. We call it Simbara. Simbara means the system information of the mineral and coal. This is interconnections coming from the 5 ministry. Like a treasury, how you do it from the raw material, where is the buyers, how you pay the tax, how you pay the royalty, and so on, coming from the energy and mineral resources, coming from Trade Ministry, Industrial Ministry, Treasury Ministry, and the users, Industrial Ministry, connect each other. Because sometimes in the government not easily connected, you know. This is us, Indonesia, nickel in 2024. I can say Indonesia, especially for the nickel ore, last year more than 250 million ton of nickel ore consumption. Okay, I will make faster. I will explain on detail. From 2022 to 2024, Indonesia added around 1.5 million ton per annum of new nickel supply. Okay. So since 2020, like I said before, we already have a success story of the nickel downstream. From all product, we already have a nickel pig iron, ferronickel, nickel matte, until stainless steel. It's coming from the RKEF technology, or we call it pyrometallurgy. And since last 2 years, we already have a hydrometallurgy. They already make it MSP, nickel sulfide, cobalt sulfide, precursors. We're waiting a new investor to make it battery cell. Remember, we have all of mineral resources, but we don't have a lithium and graphite to make it battery cell. So this is the time to make a collaboration with another country like Australia, like Canada, or another country who own the lithium and graphite. Make it the battery cell in Indonesia. Okay, this is it. From 2010, including me, they import nickel ore, or the raw material. Only ore, only raw material. And until 2014, you see the yellow one? That's the nickel ore. And 2014 until 2017, we do nothing because there is no smelters and there is no new smelters. I can say there is a lot of nickel mining company, not only nickel, minerals. Well, we cannot make it everything because there is no market in the domestic, there is no smelters, but we cannot export the raw material. So again, on 2017, the government released the new regulation for we call it relaxation. Relaxation means you can export the nickel ore, but there is a condition: you have to report the progress of your smelter. It means you can collaboration with foreign investment or local or others to make a smelter, to make a downstream in Indonesia, so you can get the export quota. But that's until 2019, the end of 2019. Since January 2020, again, export ban, you have to make it the smelters or nickel downstream. And you see, since 2020, I can say not more than 5 years, we already have a success story for the nickel downstream. I can show you how many nickel smelters in production currently in Indonesia for RKEF, for ESPAL, and another one still on construction, another one still completed the whole permit. This is us, Indonesia nickel ore type. We are laterite. We are the lower cost ever in the world to make for the mine out of nickel ore coming from the overburden topsoil. From topsoil overburden, you can get the limonite, the transition until the saprolite. Why Indonesia? There is two type of nickel source. Again, Indonesia, we are on the laterite. We are same with Philippines and New Caledonia. And why Indonesia? For the biggest resources, the large resources, my country. For the high content, again, my country. The lower production cost ever, again, my country, means Indonesia. This is us. From the whole country, a lower cost ever. I mentioned about mine out here. Okay, the cost of Indonesia smelter also is low. This is our nickel analyze. There is a surveyor company here, Intertek. They know how to do it, to analyze the mineral, and coming from the nickel ore limonite or the low grade, and for the saprolite or high grade. And we already have a product for the nickel iron ferronickel and also MSP. This is the realization of nickel royalty. Nickel royalty means non-tax. Again, non-tax. Yeah, this is for the state revenue since 2020, 2023, and last year 2024. Sorry, I forgot to change in US dollar. This is still in rupiah, Indonesia currency. But you can see the determinant of the three factors for royalty. Again, non-tax, the royalty rate, the production quantity. I think on 2022, well, like a golden year for the nickel company, because you remember the price, and 2023 decreased until now, 2024 and 2025. But you see the production, the product coming from the nickel. The orange ones, that's the royalty to the government for the nickel ore, and nickel matte and for the ferronickel. Why is it low for the nickel matte and ferronickel? This number only coming from the integrated smelter to pay the royalty. Integrated smelter in Indonesia only 4. Antam, Vale, Wanatiara coming from the China state-owned company, or we call it Jinchuan, and Weda Bay in Halmahera. They are integrated smelter, means the royalty paid at the end of product. The orange color, the miners or the raw material should pay the royalty to the smelter. For the smelters. So there is a difference of a smelter type in Indonesia, integrated or non-integrated. This is us, Indonesian nickel price. I mentioned before that we are the one to own the nickel ore benchmark price. So every month we are the one to release. We release the price for domestic transaction every month. But since last month, this month, March. Last month we release every 2 weeks. Before every month, since 1st March 2025, we release on 2 times a month, every 2 weeks. That's our difference for the nickel ore benchmark price. Indonesia with international price. Except the price from SMM, Shanghai Metals Market, and from Ferro Art. They are from China. So I can sell here lower around 40 to 50% of nickel ore price. This is our nickel resource and reserve. I think I don't want to mention about the resource and reserve because there's a lot of area we need to open it. Not easy to make the exploration for the new area, especially in Papua, or West Papua. But there is a huge potential of mineral over there. This is our investment realization in nickel industry. Who they are? You can see the logo. Mostly they're coming from China, and some of them coming from Korea. How much their investments in 2020 until end of 2024. I'll make it faster. This is our nickel refining facility. I mentioned before, in nickel, we already have 55 in production. 49 for the pyrometallurgy, or the technology call it RKIF, rotary kiln electric furnace. They make it nickel picaran, ferronickel, nickel matte. And then another technology, or we call it HPAL, high pressure acid leaching, or we call it hydrometallurgy. The hydrometallurgy, they make it MSP, nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, until precursors. So we already have a PCAM. How many they are? 55 in production. The light green, they are still in construction. The target this year or next year, they already finished the construction and they will start to make a production. So it means 95 nickel company to make a processing, nickel downstream. But exactly in totally, for nickel only, registered around 147 mining company for nickel downstream in Indonesia. That's why I can say Indonesia, we are oversupplied for the nickel. We control the world for the global production. We are the one to make it, the nickel price still decrease. Oh, sorry, I'm back. See, from 85 smelter, how many nickel ore consumption? For the pyrometallurgy, more than 400 million ton. And for the hydrometallurgy, almost 190 million ton. So it means totally for the next 2 years, our nickel ore consumption, it will be more than 500 million ton. Can you imagine how to get it? The slide before 2020 to 2023, the whole nickel smelter, their consumption always of nickel high grade. I mean it's around 1.7 above. But since last year, the whole smelter, they're looking for the low grade. Meanwhile, another smelter, they import the nickel ore from Philippines. Okay, this is the number of the nickel business players. We have 368 nickel mining company. How they make it? What kind of product they make it? From the pyrometallurgy, the NPI ferronickel nickel made until stainless steel, and for the hydrometallurgy or HPAL, using the limonite nickel ore, MSP nickel sulfide, cobalt sulfide, nickel cathode until precursors, and we are expected to make it the battery cell or PEM EV. There is two companies still on construction to make it the battery cell coming from Korea. We call it HLE, Indonesia LG. Yeah, they are still on construction. Hopefully this year, they said, I don't know, end of this year they will start to make a production for the battery cell and battery pack. I don't know whether from the NMC or coming from the LFP. Okay, this is the production of Indonesia nickel refining facility. From our map, you can see where they are, who they are, how many capacity, the capacity of the nickel production output. Mostly they are coming from Indonesia Industrial Park. We already have a 19 industrial park focus on nickel. That's only on nickel. But on the first slide, I mentioned about another mineral, yeah, like bauxite, like gold, like copper, and so on. So many. But on nickel, we have a success story. We control the world. We already make it the offer success, offer supply, and we said Indonesia, we are a troublemaker to make it the nickel price to increase. Again, this is the value chain of nickel in Indonesia. Okay, the orange one, you see that they are the company, and the blue one already exists in Indonesia. And what if the product? You see the green one. So I can say the whole product coming from nickel. You can find it in Indonesia. Like Mr. Elon Musk said, if you want to control the EV, go to Indonesia. He said, not me. Okay, this is our global nickel ore production. 2024, 2023. You see the green one. 63% we control the world from whole nickel production from another country, compared with another country with the nickel producers. Okay, 2024, if you want to know how much our nickel output of NPI and nickel matte, this on 2024. Sorry, for the NPI output, it's around 1.4 million ton of NPI, nickel pig iron, and for the nickel matte, oh sorry, I forgot. I put the wrong numbers for the nickel matte. Yeah, a different numbers exactly for the nickel matte. This is for the MSP, and the output for 2024, 314,000 ton, and for the nickel sulfide, 38,400. That's for our nickel sulfide. Okay, this is from the total Indonesia nickel export. Yeah. Coming from nickel matte, coming from ferronickel and NPI, MSP nickel sulfide, and for nickel metal, mostly to China. Again, to China. China still control us, I can say. We have a tag, of Indonesia stainless steel. We call it Cindo stainless steel. China do that? in Indonesia. Make it stainless steel in Indonesia, and for Chindo stainless steel, 55% lower than Western the cost production. That's for stainless steel. Okay, this is the multiplier effect of the success of nickel industry. You see the investment realization. Sorry, I forgot to change from the currency, Indonesia currency with the US dollar. And for the company, 194 company. Yeah, 194. That's for nickel downstream only. Yeah, 194. But in production, 55. Yeah. In construction, 36. For the rest, you can calculate. 194 company, nickel only. Again, only nickel. And for the production capacity, you see the numbers. The impact coming from the workers, the impact coming from the investment realization. How much for the export and how much for the import to make a processing of nickel. Okay, this is our investment facility. In detail, you can ask Mr. Andrea about what is the investment facility if you would like to make an investment in Indonesia. This is not only for nickel, this is for the whole sectors. Regarding for the custom facility, for the tax facility, for the SIPAT deduction facility, and for another facility in special economic zone or in industrial park. Yeah. You will have a lot of facility, incentive from Indonesia government. To be honest, sometimes I wondering to know what is the value added if all of them get for free. That's for me myself. Okay, this is for the license if you want to do the mining, all mining, and not only nickel, or refining pieces. This is the whole process coming from Mr. Andre Investment Ministry. The whole permit coming from Investment Ministry in Indonesia. What is the regulation? What is the condition? What kind of document you have to that you have to fill it, and for how long? In Investment Ministry, there is a application named OSS, Online Single Submission. So you have to report every 3 months about the investment, about your activity to the government. Okay, this is last year, yeah. I mentioned before that 2023, before 2023, all mining company in Indonesia, we have to report to the government. We call it RKB, for working, budgeting, plan, a contract, exploration data, feasibility study data, the whole things. It means every years you have to report to the government, not only for nickel, whole mining company, including coal, another mineral. It's around 5,000 mining company. They have to come to Jakarta, make a report, make a lot of document, and in our association, Indonesian Nickel Miners Association, we try to convince the government. How about we make it every 5 years, not every year? And thanks God, we did it. The government agreed, but started with every 3 years. Okay. But since 2024, on 2025, we call it transition. Sorry, 2023, 2024, there is a transition from 1 year to 3 years. So it means there is a lot of delay of RKB approval. That's why some of smelter, they are import the nickel ore from Philippines. Because smelter, they have to make a production 24 hours. They cannot shut down for a while. So that's why they import the nickel ore from Philippines. But import the nickel ore from Philippines, the reason is not only because the delay of RKB. There is a structures of nickel Indonesia. We call it a silica magnesium. A new technology, they cannot accept for the silica magnesium if higher, it's around 2.5% of the silica magnesium analyzed, they have to blend it. Yeah. So even though you get the high grade nickel ore, sometimes you're looking low grade for blending to make a balance for another mineral associate, yeah, like silica and magnesium content. Okay. Well, we have a success story, but sometimes there is a big issue regarding for the nickel Indonesia. Maybe you heard about the issue of Indonesia nickel like a dirty nickel, like a bloody nickel, like the whole things of Indonesia nickel. So if you're talking about the ESG, we're running on the passport budget. Yeah. Have you ever seen about the list coming from the ESG agency? I mentioned about IRMA. How many documents we have to fulfill? Around 400 documents we have to report for ESG audit from IRMA. And how about the smelters? From RMI, Responsible Mineral Initiative, or from Nickel Institute or Nickel Mark. So many lists. Sometimes when we discuss, we talk about when you make it the list of the ESG agency, you didn't take a look of Indonesia because we have a different situation and condition from Europe or Western with Indonesia. So we're trying to make it Indonesia ESG methodology. We are on progress to make it our own methodology, because when we discuss with OEM manufacturers like Tesla, like Mercedes in Stuttgart, I was in Tesla 3 times to discuss about the ESG of the nickel supply chain for battery. And then with another OEM manufacturers, they mentioned about the 7 critical issue, but they accept if Indonesia can make it Indonesia ESG methodology. So please support us how to make it ESG methodology, but accepted by the market with Indonesia situation and Indonesia condition. So again, talking about the passport battery, 2027, we have a short time, yeah, for ESG, passport battery with ESG visa. Yeah. If you want to sell your nickel to the Western country, they mentioned about the passport battery, and started in 2027, not more than 2 years. Okay. In Indonesia, the transition from fossil fuel to low carbon energy. Okay, for your info, we're starting to make it since this year, January, talking about the environmental issue. On mining, Indonesia government already released, if you would like to do the mining, you have to change for the biodiesel from B30 to B40. So it means there's another cost to add it, because B30 to B40, it's around $20 different, $20 or $30 different, yeah, the cost or the price. And also talking about all costs coming from the export deposit from 3 months to 1 year, from 30% to 100%. So if you want to export your product, not only for nickel, whole sectors, you have to keep for the export deposit 100% in Indonesia state-owned bank. Yeah. This is a new regulation. And how about another new regulation already released in Indonesia? Talking about the global minimum tax around 15%, talking about the wages tax, minimum wages tax 6.5%, and the reclamation also, yeah, every hectares we have to pay to the government. Difference every province. And currently, maybe you heard about the news, we're fighting with the government regarding for the royalty tariff from 10%. The government would like to increase from 10% to 14 until 19%. Yeah. If you compare the whole cost that I mentioned before and the nickel price, well, I think many companies they will shut down in Indonesia, yeah, because the price will decrease. But we have to add another cost also. We still discuss with the government, not yet released regarding for the tariff royalty, but hopefully, yeah, the government will be considered to recalculate for the whole cost with the global nickel price. Okay, this is our roadmap for the green and for the energy transition. And if you wanna, if you're talking about the environmental permit also in whole mining, yeah, not only nickel, for the environmental and for the reclamation, revegetation, or after mining, we have the regulation. We have to do it, because if you cannot proper to fill it the whole document, we cannot get another license coming. So this is it in Indonesia. If you would like to do anything, you have to base what is the regulation. Yeah. That's why on ESG, we trying to make it our ESG methodology, and the government put it under regulation. For the ESG forum, we will make it on June 2nd. We already got the approval coming from Tesla, coming from General Motors, coming from Mercedes from Stuttgart. They will come to Jakarta, and from the ESG agency also, from IPMA, Nickel Institute, and from the RMI, they will discuss with Indonesia government and how to make it the nickel premium price based on ESG standard. LMA will talk with Indonesia government, including Fast Market and SMM. That's on June, next month. We discuss about how to make the ESG methodology in Indonesia. Okay, I don't want to mention about this. Everybody knows, and this is the comparison that I mentioned before, coming from 11 company, ESG agency in Indonesia. They already check it, but not easily. Yeah, how to fill the whole documents they needed. And this is our members. They are still in audit. Yeah, they are still in audit. Not yet finished. It takes time. It's already more than 2 years, but I don't know until when. Okay, this is the challenges of ESG implementation that I mentioned. Yeah. And this is the context of sustainability. We're trying to make it in Indonesia. For the 7th ESG issue, this is basis of market demand. Okay, this is us. We already have everything in Indonesia. We have a success story in Indonesia, but we have to collaborate with the government how to make it nickel properly, fairness from the nickel players to the government to increase the value added regarding for the nickel ore decimal price, regarding for the ESG, and our goals this year to make it Indonesia Metal Exchange. This is last. Okay, that's us. Last quote for me: there is no future without mining, and there is no mining without caring about the futures. Okay, this is my last presentation. Thank you so much. Have a good day.